The Imperials are the race of man responsible for the dominant culture in modern Tamriel. Many of the greatest empires have birthed from the Imperial heartland of Cyrodiil. But what was it about this race of men with a tanned complexion that has allowed them to conquer all of Tamriel? They don't seem to be of any physical or biological significance. They are less physically imposing than a Nord and less magically gifted than a Breton. Well, let's have a look-see. Brace yourself, because here are 5 facts about the Imperials. Fact number 1. While most know the Imperials of Cyrodiil as a singular race, this is not entirely accurate. While it's still acceptable to simply call them Imperials, the men of Cyrodiil are actually divided into 2 main ethnic and cultural groups, the Colovians and the Nibelungians. While they were both descended from the Nedic people who were enslaved by the Aelid elves, the 2 ethnic groups diverged after continual invasions and interactions with bordering races. The Colovians to the west are much more Nordic, with lots of focus on martial arts and war and sailing, whereas the Nibelungians to the west have an Akaviri and minor elven influence, granting them a greater appreciation for magic, art, commerce, and spirituality. But remember, both these ethnic groups under the umbrella term of Imperial share many similar traits and are fiercely loyal to the Empire and their worship of the divines. Factor number 2, the Imperials of Cyrodiil are responsible for the birth of 3 of the greatest empires to have ever existed on Tamriel. The first being the Alesian Empire, which would be forged by a slave rebellion with the leadership of Alesia. Alesia had the blessing of Akatosh. She was granted dragon blood and the Amulet of Kings, which would create a barrier between Nirn and Oblivion. The Aelids would be defeated and the first empire of Cyrodiil would be formed, setting the stage for the Imperials to become the dominant force in Tamriel. The second empire came about when Emperor Riemann Cyrodiil defeated an Akaviri invasion and began a dynasty that would conquer all of Tamriel with the exception of Morrowind. But this would all be trumped by none other than Tiber Septim, who would conquer all of Tamriel including Morrowind, and his dynasty would be responsible for making Imperial culture the dominant one in all of Tamriel. Fact number 3, as the Imperial culture became the dominant one throughout all of Tamriel, so did their religion. Alesia of the First Empire would create the official Imperial religion that worshipped the 8 divines. She had to be careful not to anger her Nord allies by picking deities that were Aelid gods, but she knew her people could not simply adjust to the Nordic pantheon instantly. So what she did was combine the 2 pantheons, taking the less controversial gods from the Aelids like Akatosh and combine it with Nordic gods like Kinnereth and Dibella. This combination of gods became known as the 8 Divines, the prominent religion in all of Tamriel. When Tiber Septim would presumably rise to godhood, he would be worshipped as Talos, the 9th Divine. The religion of the 8 Divines would persevere in the minds of many for thousands of years. In fact, it is still currently the official religion of the Empire. Factor number 4, part of the fundamental reason why the Imperials have been able to spread their cultural influence so far, besides having the biggest empires and armies to exist, they were also excellent diplomats. Imperials are often said to be blessed with the silver tongue. They are some of the most wealthy and educated individuals on Tamriel, and they put this to good use. Trade has been a fundamental part of Imperial success, along with their ability to make friends with people of the far corners of Tamriel. Their cosmopolitan approach to all races of Tamriel and their willingness to cooperate and unite all others under a single banner for mutual benefit and peace are the key reasons why they have been so successful throughout the eras. Fact number 5, if you couldn't already tell, the Imperials have a huge influence from the real-world Roman Empire. The naming conventions of all the Imperials are very similar to that of the Latin language. Names like Cicero, Sorex Vinius, General Tullius, these are all Latin or very similar too. Their expanding empire, conquering provinces, is very reminiscent of the Roman Empire, along with the Imperial legions that are sent to conquer them. Even the ranks within the legion have Roman-like names: legate, centurion, and tribune. Let's not forget how they dress. Imperial armors in Skyrim and previous games are very reminiscent of Roman armor and equipment, including their weaponry. Next time you're playing Skyrim, take note and observe how similar they really are. Subscribe to FudgeMuppet for more fantastic Elder Scrolls content just like this, along with our builds and Fallout content. Thanks for enjoying these fact videos. We really appreciate it. As big lore nerds ourselves, we love sharing it with you guys in these nice little packages. Like the video for the Empire, I'm Scott, and I will see you next time.